Gamers, like the people watching this probably already know what this is. We're ranking every jailbreak motorsport racer. Now, also ignore this. This is Scorcher. This guy is a furry. It's very funny. Okay, so everyone who's been jailbreak motorsport for a while knows this guy. This is XM Patton. You know, the guy who's an admin but literally doesn't race ever, so he gets his own tier because he sucks. Okay, for real. Out of everyone here, these are all the people that actually race. And yeah, literally everyone else doesn't really race at all. So we're gonna start with the lowest person, in my opinion, and that would be we have Coyote, also known as Q times 3. He races when he can, but out of all of the active racers, I think everyone, including himself, will agree with me that he's pretty bad. He's not terrible. Obviously not, because you know he's here on a competitive racing server. But yeah, you have that. And then we have everyone else here who is pretty decent, to be honest, but thinking very hard. The only other person in tier C would be Huz. Now, this man with like 5,000 subscribers gonna watch this video and then make an entire video about how I ranked him wrong, but I don't care. Out of everyone here who races even semi-actively, he just gets not destroyed. Like, he's much better for sure. He goes there, but yeah, basically tier 2 and tier 1 just win, and you can't be a legit racing god in an actual race. I totally didn't lose to him. Okay, now we have tier 2. On the bottom of tier 2, I'm in literal pain right now, but I'll just put Pump. Pump is good, but I can't put him any higher because I haven't seen him race more than literally twice. Maybe if he's active more, I'll update this and put him in tier 1. But I can't say much. He's new to racing here, but he's good enough, right? He did win the first 2 racers, but he hasn't raced anyone above tier 2. Yeah. And then we have the choice that is very painful. We have Daz, who is also known as the Mobile God. Now, he's the highest in tier 2 spoilers but it's hard to put him higher when he races on mobile. And granted, the phone it's good enough. It's basically a PC, right? But then you have him racing on mobile. He can compete with the legit racing gods, right? But he's still on mobile. That there's a reason why he isn't here because that mobile drawback. He's great. In fact, if he can transfer all those skills, he'd be tier 1 for sure. I'm pretty sure that the other people planning to make a list will probably put him in tier 1, but it's hard to put him here when you have tier 1 racers. It's really hard. I mean, you could put him here. I think that's fair. I think it's fair. The mobile drawback is what keeps him from the top. And then you have Dryx. He's in a weird spot where he's good, right? He's really good, right? Nerves are a very important factor. Nerves and reaction time, even though it's not actual racing. But other than that, right? He's definitely here. He does very well against many of the better racers. He has beaten most of the legit racing gods, whom I will name soon. He has beating me in my company. I'm very proud of him. That's all I want to say. He's very good. And then we have a new racer who I'm probably overrating by a lot. We have Baron, right? I'm gonna put him at the bottom of tier 1. He's either that or the top of tier 2, because he's somewhat new, right? He had a rough few first races, right? But then pretty much every race after the most recent one as of making this tier list, you just it's basically me, right? You just over practice and then just win with consistency, right? Consistency is very, very important. You have the consistency, you have the speed. Maybe I will do this again once he's been in the server longer. Maybe he'll go up, maybe he'll go down, but we'll see. And now we have best racers. First, I'm sorry. First, we're gonna start with Maze, also known as the sort of unstoppable. I'm putting him at 4th, despite him having the highest win rate by far. The only racer with 100% win rate, right? But the catch is that, despite the fact that he's so good and that he has such a perfect win rate, is that he doesn't attend too many races, right? So if you give me a second, we're gonna bring up the race log. We're gonna count his races. All throughout season 1, you don't really see him, right? Granted, you don't see me either, but that's not important. Here we go. We have no, me. It's just race reported. Yeah, we could check season 1. Okay, so you don't really see Maze here much at all. It's season 1, right? Then you have season 2, where he starts racing. His first race ever, he got first, right? Granted, it was against Q. And then his second race, he got first. And then his third race, he got first. You see where this is going? He races and then he just wins. He got first. When you actually boil down the downsides of the other racers, he isn't the straight up best, but he's the most consistent by far. First. But then you take into account how many races he's actually raced compared to. Look at this. See? He doesn't. He races. When he races, he wins. He doesn't race much. If he would have raced more, he wouldn't have that win rate. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe he's secretly the best racer, but for now, with the information that we have, he is fourth. Now, third, 100% not biased, not even joking. I'm putting myself here. I don't know why this is broken. Haha, look at that. Me. Compared to the other people. What do you want? Shadow. I'm thinking. Anyway, out of the people here, you have me, right? If you were to if the only races here were just time trial races and such, I'd be first by far. I have agreed by pretty much everyone else here. I have the best lap times here, right? But on top of this device just being big poo poo, very bad, I don't have the best consistency, right? But if I gain consistency, if I get the consistency that I need for a race, then I just win. I have the better lines like 90% of the time, right? That helps because then you have someone who just specializes in consistency, like Maze. But if it's a race just that you purely need speed, which by the way is more important, that doesn't matter. On top of this, while all four of these people here are very skilled racers and know how to race, taking into account passing and such, that's very important. I personally do not think that Mace excels in it. He's great enough, good enough to be the cream of the crop. Maybe even better than me and such, but I think these series are a lot better for similar reasons. For similar reasons why we're up here. Scorch is just a faster but slightly less consistent Maze. You have Scorch here in Season 3, winning multiple 24 laps in a row. Not this one. Ignore that. This one he wins. The 7th one isn't documented because the staff are really bad. The first race ever, which by the way was 24 laps, he wins against Shadow, who, spoiler alert, is in my opinion the best racer. Gets second on the second one. He does good. We have a video of the first 24 laps. You can watch that on Shadow's channel. He's very consistent, but he's a lot faster too. Like, he can actually compete in time trial races and such. If you have Maze competing, for example, he doesn't really come close. He's fast. He's really fast, but he isn't as fast. All three of us are several seconds ahead of them in terms of speed, assuming equal racing conditions. So, more consistent, not as fast as me, haha, but that doesn't really matter because consistency is important. And then you have, who in my humble opinion is the best racer in this server and has been ever since I joined here, Shadow Samurai. Before we go to how, well, first of all, he literally, he doesn't just, okay, we cannot talk. His racing prowess comes from other games, right? It's not just here. You have all that skill carrying over. On top of that, he's basically the, but yeah, you have, the thing about Shadow is that if you were to look at his wiki page or just his records in general, you wouldn't think that he is the overall best, right? But you have to take into account that he has the highest attendance rate. He has done more races than anyone here. All these races, look, Shadow, 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 Shadow. These races are all connected. Shadow, Shadow. So look at this. He has 100% attendance rate until around the early part of Season 3. And then, even then, he still has much higher attention. He's done almost every single race. And in every single race that he's done very well. If he didn't win, it was close. So, that's what you have here. If you race him and you're not prepared, you're going to lose. There's no question. That's how it's going to be against all four of these people. Unless I fling, because I do that a lot. And Furry Scorch. I'm gonna just put it there.